do my best to do my duty, to honor my country, to obey Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Sebastian, where's Sebastian?
Yeah, I thought it was Sebastian.
How many times do we have to say that?
Attention, salute. Okay, now we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scout oath.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to honor my country, to obey Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout law.
Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
We're going to start off, this is kind of a long ceremony, but we're going to start off by asking our troops chaplain aide to come up and say a few words.
It's non-denominational, so it doesn't matter your faith, I guess. Creator, watch over the scout as he travels from boyhood to manhood. Guide him to success. Comfort him when he is sad, and aid him when he needs it most. Bless all his future endeavors as an Eagle Scout.
You know, as I rode in here today, I came up the path, and there's a sign hanging over. It says Waldo E. Schmitt Camp. And it reminded me that many of you young boys and young parents don't really know the history of this camp. So I want to spend a few minutes telling you. I walked in the cabin, I looked over at the fireplace, and this picture was on the mantle. I don't know, was it there when you got here?
I put it up there.
Oh, you put it there. There's several pictures in the cabinet. This is Waldo LaSalle Schmitt. Waldo Ernest Schmitt was the name on the sign coming in. Waldo, kind of, where's Waldo? Who apparently is a very common name, German ancestry name. Probably we call them Walt now. Waldo LaSalle Schmitt was curator of the Smithsonian Natural History Museum for over 30 years. He was the father of Waldo Ernest Schmitt, who's here, and I'll put these pictures out later, in his uniform, and here he is in his uniform with his sister Barbara. This was taken, those people that live on Westmoreland, you continue down Westmoreland, it dead ends, right? It dead ends in his property. He gave his property to the city of Takoma Park and said, you can't sell it. So who was Waldo LaSalle and Waldo Ernest? I told you Waldo LaSalle was the curator. He was also, people believe, a spy for the U.S. government because he would run off for 6-8 months at a time down to the Galapagos Islands and supposedly taking samples from the area for identification of crustaceans. But he was also watching for Japanese and German boats trying to go through the area of Panama Canal. His son, Waldo Ernest, along with 7 other boys in the troop, joined the U.S. government, joined the U.S. Army, or military, to fight in World War II. Waldo Ernest was a captain, actually he was an Eagle Scout in the troop, very physically fit, young man, over 6 foot tall like his father. He actually set a full pack marching record, which still exists in England, for a 25-mile full pack march. He went to battle to D-Day. He was wounded, taken back to England, where he recuperated. D-Day was in June of 1944. He was sent back to the military in December 1944 into what became known as the Battle of the Bulge, one of the big other offenses. He was again wounded by the Germans, but here captured by the Germans and died in April 1945 in a German hospital. In honor of him and the other boys who sacrificed their lives, members of the troop donated money. Waldo LaSalle donated the largest portion of money, and they looked for property. It took many years because prices were going up and up, and they finally found this property in the late 50s and bought this 42 acres for $1,635. They actually had $1,650 in their savings account, so they celebrated and bought several kegs of beer and drank it up. It's in the minutes. If you look over by the water pump, right, if you look in the slab, it's written May 29th or 5/29, 1960. 55 years ago this week, they poured the slab there for the pump. In the meantime, they built the cabin. They dammed the little river down at the bottom and made Troll Pond. Jerry Solomon was the committee chair at the time. They built this pavilion. They put the outhouses in and made the places over there for you boys. 55 years ago, these men and boys committed themselves to making a place for this to happen. So don't think that anything that you do today won't matter. It can matter. This has been my home for my family for 15 years. We've been coming here, and it's just been wonderful. My dog is limping. This was a place that she grew up, and it probably will be her last trip here, but we wanted to make sure that she got here one more time because she loved this place. So it means as much to me and to her, and I hope to you in years. So I'm really, really glad that Jimmy chose this as his place to have his ceremony. Thank you.
Now, far away, loomed the hazy outline of the Eagle's summit, flanked by the lesser ranks that represent star and light. To the newcomer, they are a long way off. They will come a lot closer as the light from the spirit of scouting continues to spread. Do you remember when you were the new scout and the thought of becoming an eagle seemed a long way off, or even an impossible goal to achieve? This light, the spirit of scouting, came from this troop. For those in our audience who may not be familiar with the trail to the Eagle Rank, and for those new scouts who have just joined, are looking down the trail, you would like to go through the ranks you have traveled. The light of the scouting spirit comes from the heart of the soul of this great troop. All the while you were on the trail, we watched you study, and we saw you learn by doing. First, you were only a scout.
I am the scout. My badge represents the International Brotherhood of Scouting, which I have joined.
Do you remember when you took your first step upon the trail to become an eagle? With that first step, you began to grow physically, mentally, and morally. You started living the scout oath and law, until you attained the tenderfoot rank.
I am the tenderfoot. My 3 points stand for the 3 points of the scout oath. Duty to my God and country, duty to other people, and duty to yourself. On my face are 2 stars representing truth and knowledge. The shield is an emblem of a nation molded together in justice, and an eagle guards of freedom of my land.
I am second class. The ends of my scroll are turned up in a willing smile of a scout. On my face is the motto, be prepared. And suspended from me is a knot, tied to remind you of the slogan of the Boy Scouts of America, do a good turn daily.
Some, like you, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. You began to study more, you worked harder, and almost before you knew it, you topped the first summit on the trail to Eagle when you received the first class badge.
am the first class. I was a tenderfoot and laid my course by the stars of truth and knowledge. I girded myself with the righteousness of justice and freedom. I added a smile that I might be a friend to all and bound myself together with the knot of duty to others.
Here, you found a tempting green meadow by a crystal clear stream, bathed in the sun. Here, you were tempted to remain. Yes, you could have remained there to live the first-class glory, but your ambition stirs you on. You remember your advancement to the Star Scout.
I am the star. Now that I can stand alone, I have the right to improve on my own. To me goes the honor of choosing my field. Before me lies a horizon of endless opportunities.
The trail from first class to star rank was not as difficult as it had seemed. This spurred you on. Again, you climbed farther. The trail was steeper and less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be headed in your direction. You looked down and saw the crowds below you. You looked up and saw a few above you. And with the same determination with which you started your climb, you continued up the trail. Gaining the next summit was not easy. Much leadership, service, and hard work had to be done. Soon, you earned the badge of life rank.
I am the life. I have shown the whole world that scouting is in my heart. I have mastered the knowledge of subjects that will benefit my country and my fellow man. I am ready to reach for my wings to fly.
While the Life Scout is a much coveted position and deserves much credit, Eagle Trail does not stop there. It still leads on to the summit. Its pathway narrows, tougher, and steepens considerably as it winds its way along the narrow ledge. It becomes tougher and more trying. Many things have to be done in order to conquer these last miles. Additional merit badges were earned. Your leadership and service to others were tested through your Eagle Scout project. Only those with the greatest amount of persistence and courage were able to gain this thrill of victory. You are on your way to Eagle. I am the Eagle. Since the beginning of time, men have used me and my brothers as a symbol of royalty, power, victory, and valor. My strength and courage has inspired men throughout the ages. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to stand for the virtues of freedom, strength, and pride. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to serve my God, my country, and my fellow man. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to stand for honesty, truth, and integrity. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to lead others to accomplish set tasks to the best of my ability. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to cross all lines of race, creed, and nationality. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to be self-reliant and resourceful. I am the Eagle. I am prepared.
Thank you, Ben, for that lively reading.
I'm sorry.
So I'm going to start off with one story. As you know, Jimmy wasn't always this size. When Jimmy went to his first camp, to Camp Rodney, as Dave reminded me, 1 year, unfortunately, Camp Horseshoe had norovirus, and so Dave, in a week, found us another camp. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 days. 4 days. Sorry, 4 days. Luckily, found us another camp to go to. Anyway, it was Camp Rodney, and so I was kind of keeping an eye on Jimmy because I didn't know it was his first time at camp, you know, and he was kind of smaller than the rest. So one morning, I get up, and a whole bunch of guys go over, open his tent up, and like try to yank him out of the tent. And I'm going, oh man. 2 seconds later, all of a sudden, Jimmy goes Lord of the Flies on everybody. He comes running out with a bow and arrow. Ah! "Ah!" and chased everybody off. And I said, I think he's going to be okay. So we didn't have to worry about that. How about that? So that's my first story, and obviously he made it to Eagle. So if anybody else has
I
any
just want
fun,
to add an addendum to that. I came home and relayed the story to his mom and said, you know, he's just so cute with that bow and arrow, and he just looks wonderful. And she said, look out, he's cute, but he uses that to get away with everything. And one other quick story, actually, his brother is here. I think there he is. Yes. My first year as Scoutmaster at Camp Horseshoe, I really wanted to do everything right. So I had a list of where boys should be and what cars they should be in. And we were at camp, and his brother came up to me and he kept all week long saying, I have to call home. And I didn't want boys to call home because, you know, it ruins everything when they get homesick. You don't have to call home. I really think I have to call home. No, you don't. So Sunday comes along and I put him in a car and I send him home. And about 30 minutes later, his mom and dad pull into camp. I said, where is he? I sent him home. And they were going north on vacation. And fortunately, I had the guy's cell phone, and they were able to call him back, and they had to go all the way back to Takoma Park and get him, right? Yes. So I felt really bad about that. But he brought his brother. He stayed in the troop, was out for a while, but came back when his brother joined. And they're both Eagle Scouts now, so everything worked out okay.
I think we've told all the stories about Jimmy and his Lord of the Flies and everything. And really, this growth spurt probably is a lot more recent than one would actually think. But I still remember when he was elected as senior patrol leader, and I was thinking, gosh, he looks so young. At the time, of course, I didn't know he was probably 2 years older than I actually thought he was. And I thought, oh, he's going to have a really tough time. And I just wanted to add, since we had the other stories, that he pulled it together. He did a really good job. He had people working for him. And was that, when you were SPL, was that also the time that you got the Silver Buckle Award, too? Or was that the next one?
No, wasn't it his first year at Horseshoe?
No. But that was the follow-up is the Silver Buckle Award is an award that's given, elected by the other scouts at summer camp at Camp Horseshoe every year for the scout who brings the most meaning to the week, who's the most enthusiastic, who makes the week more special just by his very presence being there. And so in addition to being a good SPL, Jimmy was awarded this singular honor one of the years that he was at Camp Horseshoe, and it was well-deserved because he really was kind of the life of the camp when he was there. Although I still think that year you had a bow and arrow for the last year.
He also had a hammock, which is one of the reasons.
Oh, and the hammock.
Everyone voted for him partially because of the hammock.
But he really did made Camp Horseshoe.
Really great.
He made Camp Horseshoe very special every year that and Camp Rodney every year that he attended.
maybe you can actually go and grab your parents and escort them over here. There you go. Very posh.
Okay. Simone, please. Jimmy? Simone, you have been just a joy to have in the troop for both the time since Nick was here and Jimmy was here, and you know I'm kind of sad that they're moving on and we're not going to be around. But I'd like in the Eagle ceremony, this is not only from him but from me for being such a wonderful mom and having such great kids. So you'll just pin that on your mom. This is the coveted mom pin. Richard? Go back on this. Go right there. Again, Richard, you know, he's taken wonderful photography of the troop over the years and posted on YouTube. It's been really great to have you supporting me when I was Scoutmaster and supporting him as well. So, again, thank you very much for being the dad of 2 Eagles. And of course, Simone, the mom of 2 Eagles. one other thing, we have the coveted bumper sticker. You have a rare one that says, I am proud of my Eagle Scouts. Okay, so you have two. So you can wear this. I see this around Takoma Park, and I'm very proud to present this to you, and hopefully you'll present it, post it proudly on your car. Thank you. Now we have a little ceremony for you. You get to pin the Eagle pin on your side.
All right, so ready? Here we go. This is the Eagle presentation. By now, Jimmy, you probably you probably thought that this would never come around to presenting your badge. In some cases, we never thought it would come. But now, time has finally come, and the honor of pinning your Eagle badge on your uniform rightly falls on the persons most responsible for your being here, your parents. Your mother and father have both undoubtedly been great resources, as you've heard of inspiration in your quest for the Eagle Award. So I will have them up here, which there we are, and pin the medal on you. There. And drop blood if you want. There you go. All right, while you're doing that.
And you can still, you're not 18 yet, right? Until you're 18, you can wear this Eagle patch on your uniform. When you're an adult leader, you actually get a red, white, and blue knot you can put on, like Mr. Miller has right there, and mine is here someplace.
In the middle.
In the middle.
So we also have a pin here that is a gold pin, and this is for whoever mentored you. You can decide who you would like to present this to as your mentor. It could be whoever you want, family member, dog,
Even you.
whatever. So you can decide that now, or you can decide that later. It's totally up to you.
I've already decided to present to Mr. Lanar,
All right.
who was a very driving force in making sure I got my Eagle, and he helped me a lot.
So now we're going to...
As a gift from the troop, it's tradition that we buy a official Boy Scout knife to present to you. And what's even more special is that I engrave here your name, Jimmy Hall, Eagle Scout Troop 33, and the date that you became Eagle, your board of review, which is February 16, 18. Whoa. 2015.
All right, so Mr. Jackson is actually going to read the Eagle Scout Challenge. Shalom.
Honor is a special word for Eagle Scouts. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that the often slogan spoken, "A scout is trustworthy," is the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his troop, and his community. A second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother Scouts make him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty that means devotion to community, country, to one's own ideals. A third responsibility of Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up Scouting's trail, just as others helped him in his Eagle climb. The performance of the daily turn takes on a new meaning when you enter a more adult life of continuing service to others. You deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest award, but wear your award with humility. Ever mindful, the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow, for from this day forward, You will always be an Eagle Scout.
Thank you, Glenn.
We bring you into the Brotherhood of Eagle Scouts with this Eagle Charge. Can I have all members here who are Eagle Scouts please stand? And you will do this in the future, any Eagle ceremony that you're in. Can I have all those scouts, Eagle Scouts, stand at attention, please, and give us the scout sign? Would you repeat after me, Jimmy, and all the scouts, Eagle Scouts as well? I realize my obligation.
I realize my obligation
To my fellow men, my home.
To
my fellow men, my home,
My country and my God.
my country and my God.
country and my God.
I will at all times do my best
I will at all times do my best
to assist others,
to assist others,
to live with honor, loyalty,
to live with honor and loyalty,
courage, and service,
courage and service,
and to be a living example
and to be a living example
of the Scout Oath and Law
of the Scout Oath and Law
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
2. At ease, be seated. Jimmy, welcome to the club of Eagles.
All right, so now we're going.
In the center.
You promised me this will only take an hour, so hopefully you're all comfortable.
I want to start off by saying how grateful I am to be here, how honored I am to be at Camp Schmitt, a place where I formed many fond memories, and how sorry I am that I do not know many of you younger scouts because I haven't been that active in the troop recently. For me, being an Eagle Scout was an expectation that was placed on me from when I first started. I knew that I was going to be an Eagle Scout, but it doesn't make it any less miraculous. Only about 5 to 6%, this is a nationwide average, of scouts make it to Eagle. But as you can see in our troop, that percentage is a lot higher. In our troop, there are lots of dedicated adults, and there's just this mentality that we're here to help you get to Eagle. We offer lots of merit badges, and the volunteers are really good for that. They go above and beyond without being paid to do so. I'd like to thank, well, there's so many people to thank that have helped add to this culture of basically making so many Eagle Scouts. Do you see that a third were under Mr. Lanar of our whole troop? There's so many people to thank. Ms. McDormand for teaching me many merit badges, Ms. Sue Tripp, Mr. Miller, Mr. Rochelle, of course, all the adult leaders. I like to thank them. Thank you.
Thank you.